They weren't reserved.
Yeah, no, he's got all of
This
it.
guy dancing out here. Well, this is San Francisco's answer to Venice Beach then, huh?
Sorry. So I just went and had a little biopsy. Got a little bit of myself removed. Oh, I am unhappy. No, that's not the right word. I do not like doctor's offices. It's got nothing to do with doctors and mostly to do with the sharps. I don't like the sharps. I did lots of reading over my break. So I read Outlander, finished Outlander. I liked it. I got sucked into the world. I don't want to read 10 books of it. So I'm going to stop at the first one. I might go back and continue reading. It's very smutty, but it's like almost non-consensual smut. I mean, there's like multiple rape scenes, but the scenes that aren't labeled as rape are also not consensual. So I have a problem with that. Also, there's some like historical issues, but also it's a fiction. So like, you gotta make your choices as to what matters, and to me, it doesn't matter. So I gave that one 4 stars. The next book I read was If You Tell by Greg Olson, and it's a story about Shelley Notow, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She's the woman who murdered her tenants, tortured and murdered her tenants, and tortured her children, as well as her nephew. So I read that. That was fun. I liked the story. I think Olson needed an editor, or a better editor than the one that they had, because there were some things that were just repeated or poorly worded. There's some things that an editor could have taken out. I don't know if the editor just missed it, or if there wasn't an editor, or what that was, but other than that, I had a good time reading that one. That one was fun. I'm now reading West with Giraffes, which kind of reminds me of Water for Elephants, in that it's an old man recollecting his time with these animals. I'm not very far in. I think I'm only 80 pages in, so not very far. Gonna keep going. And then I have a list of books that I'm gonna read next before I continue on my poster and my other thing, because I want to read these before I leave for Korea so that I can pass them around and then send them to George. I know I said I'd send them to George first, but there are other things that are happening right now. So first is The Dead Romantics. I'm gonna read this. I had this idea because my grandparents want to read it, and my aunt wants to read it, and my mom wants to read it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna write my name, and we can just like write our names when we read the book. And it would be a fun way of seeing like everybody who's read the book. You know? I think it'd be fun. Anyway, first, the next book is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Then we're going on an Agatha Christie binge. We have The Mysterious Affair at Styles by Agatha Christie, The Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie, and The Big Four by Agatha Christie. So these 5 books, that's 5, right? Yeah, 5, are the next books I'm going to read. In the middle of Murder on the Links and the Murder of Roger Ackroyd is Poirot Investigates, which is a collection of short stories, which I have up there on my little bookshelf, and I will read that one. That one is just one that can't leave the house. So I'm going to read the books that can leave the house and can go and visit other people, including George, before I read the books that are not allowed outside. They're like collector's editions, and they're not mine. I don't own them. So they're my mom's. They're not allowed to leave the house, so they're gonna stay up there. They're a low priority book. But that's what I'm reading. I'm really excited. It's the 26th of July, and on the 28th, the high school expansion pack for The Sims comes out, and I'm really excited about that. I'm tired. I think it's really neat how they put the bandage on, because they scooped out a bit of me out of, yeah. So you need to put pressure on it for the bleeding, but it's on my scalp. So you can't really put a band-aid on it because there's hair there, and they didn't want to shave around it because, well, so what they did was they took hair from all around the site and put like one of those little plastic ponytails and tightened it down over a cotton swab. So I have a cotton swab in there and the hair is holding it down. So I thought that was a really smart way of putting pressure on it without an adhesive. I just never thought of doing it that way, and I think it was interesting. It was an interesting thing to do. I was panicking the entire time. I left my stress apple at home, so I didn't have anything to like hold on to, but my dad was there, so I held on to his hand. Then I had a nurse on one side and a doctor on the other, and they were doing their thing, and I was squeezing my dad's hand, and both the nurse and the doctor and my dad were concerned for me. Apparently I turned green, my ears turned bright red, and I lost most of my color. I know that I was shaking, so I'm still kind of shaking. They gave me juice. Apple juice to be precise. So I was telling George, I'm like, you know those moms that are like, oh, you're dying, you're bleeding to death, have some water. It's too hot, drink some water. Too cold, have some water. Me, you're feeling upset, have some juice. You're shaky, have some juice. Yeah, I think juice solves a lot of problems. Just look at 3-year-olds. You give a 3-year-old some juice, you're golden. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what I'm going to read next, and what I'm going to be doing for the next few days is The Sims. I have other things I need to do. Today is not going to be one of them. I feel so sluggish, like my head can't really move. I think it's because of all the numbing stuff they put on the top of my head, but my head feels heavy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I will see you guys later. Bye! So once again, the power has gone out, which means I'm gonna go down the hill to get work done because I have things for my study abroad that I need to get done. I also want to look into how often the power goes out in South Korea because this is tiresome. I don't know if I got it, but remember that song way back in, was it 2012? That's what the fox says. Constantly, until you try to film it, and then it stops talking. it's dark and this is bad lighting, but I've officially finished signing up for housing for Korea, so that's exciting. I'm now on a wait list. Very nervous. I think, honestly, I was like this close to throwing up while I was signing up for housing. It was so stressful. The next thing I'm doing tomorrow is to go get the visa that I need for studying abroad for a full year. And then what I'm doing after that is, one, I have to wait for my wait list to get to my turn for housing. So fingers crossed that I can get housing. I need to do the visa thing. I'm doing that tomorrow. I need to pack. And I need to sign up for classes. All of these things that need to get done. I also need to finish this orientation module for Arizona. I should write this down. I leave so soon. I think I have like 15 days left before I go. I cannot express to you how stressed I am about this visa. Yesterday we went to go turn in all the paperwork, turns out didn't have all the paperwork, had to come back. We went all the way to San Francisco for that, so you know, that's a shame on me for not having that stuff. I only just got the paperwork from the school that I need for the visa, so it's not like I could have done it any earlier, which, you know, I really wish I could have, or even maybe instead of setting up an appointment, just sent things in. Anyway, kicking myself about it, really stressed. I'll leave very soon. So let's just hope this works. The thing that is keeping me going is the potential of going to South Korea. I've been looking forward to this for years. If I cannot go, I'm gonna have to find something else to keep me alive, because this is what has been it for the past year and a half. I'm gonna have to find something else, and I really want to find something else because my brain is getting scary. So if you have any suggestions, let me know, because it's dark in here. The power's out again. I look creepy. My head shadow is huge. Gotta love living in Forest Hill with PG&E as your power service.